Resilience and emotional intelligence, a path to transformation. Life isn't always smooth sailing. At times, we face challenges that test our patience, our beliefs, and even our sense of self. Whether it's a personal crisis, the end of a relationship, or a setback in our careers, these moments can leave us feeling lost, vulnerable, or powerless. But what if we told you that these same challenges could be opportunities for growth? Resilience and emotional intelligence, EI, are two powerful tools we all have access to, though we may not always realize it. With the right mindset and willingness to learn, these traits can help us navigate the storms of life and come out stronger on the other side. And the best part? We all have the ability to cultivate them, no matter our past experiences. The power of resilience. Resilience isn't about never facing difficulties. It's about how we bounce back when we do. It's about embracing setbacks as stepping stones, learning from our mistakes, and refusing to be defeated by adversity. When we think about resilience, it's helpful to imagine a tree. Think about the way its roots dig deep into the earth, finding strength and stability, even during the fiercest storms. Just like that tree, our ability to stand tall in the face of difficulty relies on our foundation, our mindset, and the choices we make in response to what life throws our way. Sometimes it can feel like the world is pushing us down, and it's easy to give up. But those who are resilient have learned to keep going, even when it seems impossible. The key is building a relationship with yourself, one where you trust that you can handle whatever life throws your way. It's about understanding that every experience, good or bad, is part of your growth. You can choose to learn from it and use it to fuel your future. Emotional intelligence, understanding ourselves and others. Emotional intelligence is the ability to understand, manage, and use our emotions in positive ways. It's not about suppressing our feelings, but about being aware of them and using that awareness to guide our actions. When we develop emotional intelligence, we also become more aware of the emotions of others, which helps us build empathy and deeper connections. But how do we develop emotional intelligence? It starts with self-awareness, recognizing our own emotions without judgment. This is where understanding our triggers, our patterns, and our reactions comes into play. From there, we work on emotional regulation, learning how to respond calmly and thoughtfully instead of letting emotions control us. One of the most powerful aspects of emotional intelligence is empathy, the ability to listen, understand, and even feel what others are going through allows us to build stronger, more authentic relationships. But true empathy doesn't come from just hearing people. It comes from genuinely trying to understand their perspective, even when it's different from our own. The role of mindset in emotional growth. Both resilience and emotional intelligence can be enhanced with the right mindset. A growth mindset, believing that we can improve and develop our abilities over time, can help us become more adaptable and open to change. With a growth mindset, we see failure not as a reflection of who we are, but as a lesson to be learned. Adopting this mindset can shift the way we view setbacks, allowing us to respond with resilience rather than defeat. Next steps: building your resilience and emotional intelligence. 1. Reflect on past challenges. Think about the times you've overcome obstacles in your life. How did you respond? What did you learn from those experiences? Reflecting on your resilience will remind you of your inner strength and help you build confidence for future challenges. 2. Practice self-awareness. Spend time getting to know your emotions. When you feel upset, frustrated, or happy, ask yourself why. This simple practice helps build emotional intelligence and teaches you how to manage your reactions. 3. Empathy in action. Try putting yourself in others' shoes. When you listen to someone, ask yourself, what must it feel like to be in their position? Practicing empathy deepens connections and creates stronger relationships. 4. Adopt a growth mindset. View mistakes as learning opportunities. Instead of saying, I failed, say, I learned how not to do something, and now I know better. Building strength through mindfulness and self-compassion. Sometimes, resilience and emotional intelligence might seem like distant goals when we're facing challenges. But here's the truth. We all have the power to reconnect with ourselves and find the strength we need to thrive, even in the toughest of circumstances. Mindfulness, the foundation for emotional awareness. One of the best ways to strengthen resilience is through mindfulness, the practice of staying present and fully engaged in the moment. When we're mindful, we let go of judgment and learn to observe our thoughts and feelings without becoming overwhelmed by them. This allows us to respond thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively. Mindfulness can be as simple as pausing for a few moments during your day to take a deep breath, observe how you're feeling, and acknowledge where your mind is. This practice helps you reconnect with your emotions and gives you the space to choose how you want to respond to them. Over time, mindfulness increases emotional intelligence because it helps you tune into your emotional landscape. You can practice mindfulness through activities like meditation, journaling, or even just sitting quietly and observing your surroundings. It doesn't have to be complicated. What matters is that you're learning to be present with yourself. Self-compassion, embracing yourself without judgment. Another key to resilience and emotional intelligence is self-compassion. So often, we're our own harshest critics, beating ourselves up for mistakes or perceived flaws. But what if we treated ourselves with the same kindness and understanding that we offer to others? Self-compassion means recognizing that we're human, that we all struggle, and that we don't need to be perfect to be worthy of love and respect. It's about embracing our imperfections and acknowledging that we're doing our best even when we fall short. Just as we extend compassion to others when they face difficulties, we need to practice that same kindness for ourselves. The impact of self-compassion on mental well-being. When we show ourselves compassion, we lower stress, improve our mood, and cultivate a sense of inner peace. This self-kindness also allows us to bounce back more easily from setbacks, knowing that we don't have to be perfect to be worthy of happiness. Self-compassion supports emotional intelligence by allowing us to accept our emotions without shame and create healthier relationships with ourselves. Using resilience to break negative cycles. Sometimes, the biggest obstacles we face are the negative cycles of behavior and thought patterns that we've developed over time, whether it's self-doubt, perfectionism, or a tendency to fall into toxic relationships. Breaking these cycles requires intentional effort and resilience. One of the first steps is awareness, recognizing the patterns that aren't serving you. From there, you can take small steps to change your responses, beliefs, and habits. Resilience comes into play when you face these cycles with patience and persistence, choosing to move forward rather than retreating into old habits. Self-discovery, learning from the journey. Resilience isn't just about bouncing back. It's about discovering more about who you are along the way. Every time you face a challenge or a moment of doubt, you have the opportunity to learn more about yourself, your values, your strengths, and your capacity for growth. As you strengthen your emotional intelligence, you'll start to recognize the patterns of behavior that are aligned with your true self and the ones that you want to leave behind. With time and effort, you'll begin to make choices that reflect your growth, leading you to a more authentic, fulfilling life. Next steps: strengthening your emotional resilience. 1. Practice mindfulness daily. Whether it's 5 minutes of quiet reflection or a few moments of deep breathing, make time to check in with yourself. The more you practice mindfulness, the easier it becomes to remain grounded during challenges. 2. Cultivate self-compassion. When you face setbacks or mistakes, treat yourself with kindness. Remind yourself that you're doing your best and that it's okay to be imperfect. Practice speaking to yourself the way you would speak to a friend. 3. Observe and shift negative cycles. If you notice patterns of negative thinking or behavior that are holding you back, take time to reflect. What beliefs or habits are influencing your responses? What small change can you make today to break that cycle? 4. Embrace the journey of self-discovery. Life is a process of constant growth. Be patient with yourself and trust that every challenge you face is an opportunity to become more of who you truly are. Your journey begins here. The journey toward emotional intelligence and resilience is not always easy, but it is always worthwhile. When you choose to focus on personal growth, you create the possibility for lasting change, not only for yourself, but for the people you encounter along the way. By embracing mindfulness, self-compassion, and resilience, you'll build a strong foundation for navigating life's challenges with grace and wisdom.